So welcome everyone. Thank you for being here for another demo day, our second edition of our content design and UX writing course. We're here to see the final project of our amazing student after 10 weeks, intensive weeks. And I believe it was like a roller coaster, ups and downs, but here you are. You're after all this time learning and applying your knowledge to your personal project. I can't wait to see it. This is my favorite moment of the edition when I can see this work of you all. And first, I want to please feel proud of you, of yourself. No one's more than you know all this work. So trust in you, trust in the process, and yeah, show how you did it. Thank you for all those that are here and that are not part of the students. So we are all women at the academy, as you might know. And yeah, today we are going to start with Jolene. Sorry if I pronounce wrong your name. I'm gonna stop.
I'm used to it by now.
Awesome. I'm gonna start sharing my screen, and then you can start.
Yeah. Okay, just a moment. Yeah. So, let me just share the right screen. All right. Are you seeing just a regular presentation?
Yes.
No presenter view?
No.
Great.
The regular one. Perfect.
Okay, let's get started. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, well, hi everyone. I'm glad you could join me on this kickoff of the presentations. And yeah, I'll be presenting you my project's brand book. So what I'll talk about is basically a little bit of intro on how I got to work on this project, then my process, then the big reveal, and then a little Q&A, which is optional, but you know. So yeah, these are Sophie, Daniel, and Emily, and they went to a party that would later go down in history books as the best party of the century. And this is Millie. Millie did not go to the party. She spent her evening alone, being terribly bored, and she did not know if and where anything was happening. So
Jolene,
when she was
Jolene, the slides are not working. Sorry to interrupt.
Are they not working?
Yeah, it's not moving.
Oh, that's sad. Just give me a moment to go.
Oh, there we go. Here now we see. Nice.
Okay, wait, just again, quickly, but I will just not talk, but quickly, because otherwise you miss all my fun things. So Daniel, Sophie, Emily, okay. The best party of the century, okay. Well, okay, why is this being weird? Are you seeing it weirdly too? Are you seeing my things?
Oh, we see your things. We get a weird sound though coming, but otherwise it's all good.
Okay, that's strange. I don't know. Anyway, so Millie did not go to the party. You can hear me all right? Can someone confirm that they can hear me?
There's a little bit of fuzz, but don't let it slow you down. Looks fine now. Just keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, when Millie was done being sad about the party she missed, she called up her friend Darren and was like, yo, how do I not miss out on anything cool anymore? And then Darren was like, you know what? I've heard of this platform where you can find literally any kind of activity around. You should check it out. And so Millie got herself, you know, a pumpkin spiced latte as it is the season. And she looked up at invlaanderen.be, which is the website. But the layout was so offensively dull that she closed her laptop, left her coffee untouched, and said, yikes, I'd rather enjoy my seasonal depression at home. And then she drank her coffee anyway, as it was like 15 euros. So sometime later, Darren called me up while I was having a typical gym workout. And he said, Jolien, no one has left the house in weeks. Can you do something? And I was like, sure, stranger who somehow found my number. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so let me take you through my process. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Great. So yeah, after looking at the website, I came up with some good questions, and then I set up a survey. And yeah, then I cashed in on favors people owed me to get participants. The results were conclusive. The platform could be a huge success if it was set up properly, basically. So here's the deal. The current concept actually has a website and an app that serves as an agenda where you can find activities and events to do in Flanders and Brussels, which is in Belgium. The idea is nice, but the current concept is pretty outdated. So my addition is to make it more user-friendly, modern, accessible, and add a social layer to it. Their mission is basically spreading public leisure offer and having everyone participate. And the vision is to create shared encounters and experience that create a stronger, more happy society. And all the core values center around information, taste expansion, participation, and connection. Okay, so after figuring all that out, all that was left was to create a new visual identity for this platform, and then I would be done, right? So without further ado, here is the reveal. Just a moment. Just kidding, sorry. A lot more research and creation needs to happen actually before we have an actual brand book. So let's continue. To start with a brand archetype, for people who don't know what that is, it's basically the personality of your brand. So it's like what other people perceive them as. The current archetypes seem to lean to caregiver and everyman, which is nice, but it felt like too safe, bland, and a little boring for this specific brand. So for our brand, I focus more on explorer and jester to put that in the mix, which is more fun, adventurous, humorous, and enticing. And then I did some, I gathered all kinds of information, like reviews of what people have been saying about the current concept, among other things. Oh, wow, this. Okay, so based on all research, I created two personas, Emma and Thomas. Why is this?
We can't see the slides again, I think.
Well, I love that it's going so well with Canva. I hope yours is gonna go more easy.
Sorry about that.
You can see it?
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, well, so the two personas are obviously different, but they have one thing in common, which is that they both want an easily accessible public leisure platform to choose from. So I went on a little trip with Emma and Thomas to see when and where Emma's needs lie, and the same for Thomas. So after I figured all that out, it was time to create a body for our shiny new personality. So here's a new logo. Yay, I know, very exciting. Wait, I have something cool for that. Yay, I don't know if you can see that, but whatever.
Yes.
So here's a new logo. Basically, just new colors and font, which is all happy, playful, and bright, yet not too childish, or at least that was the point or the aim. But other colors can also alternate for the logo. Then the brand, it will use photos of relatable real moments with all kinds of people. So the photos are supposed to be of good quality and have some color contrast in them to make them look happy and pop out more. So now our brand looks nice. They will also like to speak. So I created a verbal identity. So I made a sitemap based on my previous research info. And so the brand, because I've been keep calling it brand, so I called it UT. Before anyone thinks that it's UTI again, it's called UT, which means out. And it stands for a trustworthy, unbiased partner with an optimistic tone and a conversational way of posting, especially on socials, like very much in footsteps of Netflix. So I think do a very great job at that on socials. And then the tone spectrum is just so it's clear that the tone changes a little depending where the user is in the journey, like from whimsical to more serious, but never formal. And of course, I made sure to come up with guidelines. In this one, the most important one is to note that is the M-dash, because the queen herself, Emily Dickinson, has invented it. So you cannot not have used the M-dash. And then there's more guidelines on principles that are important. Here, I want to focus most on accessibility and gender-neutral language. And then just some more guidelines along with like long and short tail SEO keywords that I would use. Okay, so I know this is just a template for the Google Heart thingy, but I left it in because it's a pretty good base for my project. So I would only need a few little tweaks to make it completely accurate for mine. So if everyone can just imagine that I had more time and I did that, then that would be great. So yeah, of course, a good UX writer needs to know their microcopies. So here are some examples. Side note that I just want to say is the design is more to create a certain feeling of the new identity. I'm very much not a designer, so that would never be the final result, okay? So Nicole, please don't be too sad.
I shall see if I have mercy.
Thanks, I appreciate that. So yeah, as I said, it's more the feeling that it's like, so this is always the, the previous one and then the new one. So it's basically to show that it's just a bit more fun and more enticing and all of those things. Yeah, so then it's time to reveal the before and afters. So before, this is what the website would look like on a phone. So as you can see, it's pretty bland and a bit all over the place. It's not API first, it's quite serious as well. And this is the after. Yay! It is API first. It's bright, happy, inviting, and a lot more modern. This is another example. And oh, I clicked wrong again. Okay, so then it's time for the Q&A. Thanks everyone for, I would say staying awake, but it's literally the start of the presentation. So I mean, that would be weird if you were not. Does anyone have any questions?
Really nice. It's always there technical issues, so no worries. We understood great. So I don't know if anyone has feedback, any comment or question. You can raise your hand and I can give you voice.
Don't be shy.
No one. Awesome. Martina?
I just want to say I love your presentation. It's just cool. Really, the journey, how you presented the journey, it's just great. I just love it.
Thank you, that's sweet.
Marta?
I love the way you talk and it's so fun and I love it. Thank you so much for making it so easy and chill and fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Marta, that's kind.
Isa?
Yeah, I agree totally with the girls that you put so much of your own personality into this, that it's so fun, and this is how your brand is. So it's great that you could present it in this presentation, and I think you did an amazing job with the design. No matter what you think, I think it was great. I really love the colors and the choice, and yeah, really, really congratulations. Yay.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Thank you, Jolene. Great presentation. Oh, Marie.
Oh, thank you so much for that presentation. It felt very live and how you kind of introduced us with the story, with these characters in the beginning, to understand a bit the problem of the existing solution, And yeah, I was thinking, and also what I liked is there's a consistency throughout, in what you're talking about the core values and the brand archetype and how you change that and how I could feel that through, the designs. Very nice, very nicely done. So what would success look for in this? What content did you focus in on? And and how have you gone about to decide upon that type of content?
What was your first question?
Is anything different in content-wise for your solution than from the original one?
Yeah. Like first of all, their homepage was a mess. They had everything on there, and I think it was just way too much. They were just like throwing everything they had, which was just chaotic and not very interesting. Plus, they had this whole page about like contests, but in a very boring way, and I kind of just skipped that completely because it's just not interesting to me personally. I think they could add that in like a newsletter or something, that they could make people win things sometimes, but not as a whole page, because that's really not the point of the anyway. So I just left that out. Well, I didn't get a chance to design all of that, but as I said at the start, I would add a whole layer of like being able to connect with each other, just like Meetup has. So very much like that they can see who goes to a certain event, and that they can be able to get in touch with each other. Well, actually, I tried to design that, but I'm not sure if I put it in the final presentation because I don't think I was ready. Yeah, I think I put it in. So anyway, yeah. So those are kind of things that I try to change content-wise. Yeah, and also as I said in the voice and tone, because not everything was bad. It was just very serious, and I don't think that fits for a brand that wants to offer like fun activities. Yay, people go outside and do nice things, and yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you consider to expand this website like worldwide or something like this? If you finally do the application, because I think like in every country we have one, no? Like here, timeout maybe would be similar as your project, but I don't know. Like there is a lot of engaging there and community that it's not that they are not doing. So maybe it's a proposal.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if I can find some investors, and if other platforms would be willing to like create like one big meta network, so that you just have, for example, like one app on your phone, and according to what country you're in, it kind of switches to, I don't know, a certain service that you can just continue using the same kind of interface. I guess. I mean, maybe.
And I think it's really it's in the design and the use you will add for the social networks to get the users there. Because, for instance, timeout, it's very nice to consult the plans, but then you cannot join and you are not creating a community. Do you remember that then when back, I think I talked about that with you, Jolene, when Facebook have the events that everybody was joining the events, but that is now useless. Nobody is doing that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
nobody is so we are more in mobile. So I think it depends on really the usability that you're doing, that it's
Yeah, exactly. Because I kind of like the idea of Facebook events, because people did use it, but they didn't really interact with each other. They just use it so that other people could see that they were going. That was it. So I think this would build more on using still that function, but then going a lot further in that people would actually like be able to use it as a way of connecting.
Perfect. I believe Marie, something to say?
Yeah, you're muted.
You're mute.
Just a little last question, if you'd like to share with us some of your main insights from these weeks working with the content for this project.
My main insights of?
Yeah, any main learnings, insights that you had from working with the content design for this project during these 10 weeks?
For this specific project?
Or in general, any insights?
Or for just a course in general?
Yeah, kind of applying the material onto the project.
Well, for me personally, I mean, I there are certain things that I was already doing, but definitely not great. And I think being able to really get these kind of tools that we saw through the entire course really helped me to. Also, I'm quite a chaotic person, and they really helped me to structure myself more and more, try to follow the steps more, and it kind of definitely helped me see how maybe some methods that I was using before weren't exactly the most efficient. Well, I think I definitely have improved some things now, and still have a long way to go, for sure. But yeah, I don't know if that was an answer to your question, but
Oh, yeah, thank you. Great. Fantastic. Good luck with the next steps ahead.
thank you.
Thank you, Janine. So next one is going to be Marta.
Okay. Okay. Are you listening to me? You are seeing my screen, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. So yes, my name is Marta, and before starting, I must tell you a warning, because today I will be talking about gender violence, gender violence in the digital space, even though I will not share any explicit content, but I want you to know. So if you feel sensitive with it, just I'll let you know. Okay, so that said, let's start. So here I have a question for you all. What do you think the following three women I will share with you now have in common? I'm talking about Ada Colau, which is the current mayor of Barcelona, and also Isabel Calderón, which is a feminist and journalist and a podcaster, and also Elizabeth Duval, which is a queer activist, philosopher, and writer. So the thing they have in common is that they all had to shut or separate from their social media accounts. And the reason was because they received lots of comments from trolls, bots, or how we say in Spanish, machirulos, on their social media. And actually, that's only the visible part of this system that we are all living in. In this structural reality is built on gender violence, so there are no safe spaces on the digital atmosphere. And we are all suffering some digital abuse and harassment. And we all know it, that's called patriarchy. Okay, but let's see more about those people that are affected by that patriarchy thing. So for instance, let's talk about this brutally honest journalist. She's based in Barcelona, and she feels exhausted of this digital violence. And even though she is so smart and open-minded and also well-recognized in Spain, she feels constantly on alert during their social media, during the time she spent on social media. And also she had to leave it for a while because of mental health. So yeah, I think we needed to do something with that. So actually a solution, while we don't beat patriarchy, is this feminist self-defense, right? But how can we start a digital feminist self-defense strategy? So my solution is the so-called feminist self-defense outlook for a digital secure space. So I needed a name for that. And I introduced you palabrota, which actually means a swear word in Spanish. And palabrota is an extension that you can download on Chrome Web Store, and it has a mission. It blocks trolls, bots, and insults based on hated speech. And how it works, it's really, really easy. It only uses a database that analyzes repetitive violent comments and also nocive behaviors online. So that said, let's see how this business goal is constructed on this content compass. So my objective is to create a digital safe space with a feminist self-defense ad block that actually for female non-binary identifying people, queer people, and also children to avoid this digital violence. Okay, so when I had this idea, I thought that maybe something like that existed. And oh, sorry, that it's later, sorry. So yes, I've been talking to you about this extension, but this digital products has also other materials, yes. So we have a landing, and also it ends with a CTA to a newsletter. We have a blog, and all of them take the user to this extension of Palabrota. Okay, so that's it. When I had this idea, I thought maybe there is an ad block like that, and I didn't find anything actually. So I changed this competitor's view to ideas that I actually envy. For instance, this Maru, which is a chatbot to avoid this digital violence, or Grammarly, which I really love how liquid it is, or the ad filter, which is really effective because you only see good ads, but anyway, who cares about that? And that being said, let Palabrota explain themselves. So in terms of voice, Palabrota is witty, but not arrogant, is bold, but not flashy, is ironic, but not sarcastic, and makes you smile, but it's not fun. And of course, loves feminisms, but it's not a know-it-all kind of person. And in terms of punctuation, as we said, Palabrota loves feminisms, so they love feminist literature. So they apply this Bernardine Evaristo kind of writing style. She never uses any kind of full stop. And that Palabrota likes it because it's like an open conversation with women and non-binary people. And when it comes to the formatting, as you are seeing, Palabrota never uses a capital letter, and that's because they use this bell hook singular way of writing her own name with lower cases. And because it gives a sensation of horizontality that Palabrota really likes. And when it comes to formatting also, Palabrota always writes in bold. That's because of her voice, their voice, and uses commas when they make sense while reading them loud, and loves this kind of incendiary emojis. So in terms of inclusion and accessibility, as you know, Palabrota speaks in Spanish, so they use this pronoun ele to speak to the users, and they avoid this generic masculine, from changing, for instance, from adjectives to nouns, from generic masculine to this double gender, or even using their own imagination and create other constructions. So as you are seeing, Palabrota wants to look like this, and Palabrota loves these colors in this order and speaks bold with this Montserrat's font. Okay, so let's simulate for a minute that we are the mayor of Barcelona and we are about to interact with this Palabrota. So maybe we are scrolling down on Instagram and okay, we find a meme thing you say in English from Palabrota, and you like it and you click it and you go to the landing. Or maybe you go to the SERP and find some keywords about some concepts you are interested in, and you find this blog post from Palabrota's blog. So you click and you go to the website, and let's see how it looks. Let's go to Figma and see how it's becoming. So as its content first structure, it started with wireframes. Are you seeing it, right? Yes. And then I'm trying to design like this using some colors and images. So let's think we are the mayor of Barcelona. We are scrolling down. Okay, not bad. 1, 2, 3 steps, easy. But I don't trust this brand. I don't like that button. But I may join the newsletter. Why not? Okay. So then I joined the newsletter, and some days later, you're seeing my presentation, right? Yes. Some days later, Palabrota sent you an email, and it says Palabrota exists, so Charles end actually, and yeah, the mayor of Barcelona obviously clicks on that, and
What is the subject of the email? Sorry,
it says Palabrota existe para que se acaben los trolls. You cannot see it?
nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not because I think it's because I see you also and I see the other girls, but it's okay. You just read it. It's perfect. Sorry.
Yeah, it says Palabrota existe para que acaben los trolls. Descarga la extensión en tu navegador y buy bots y machirulos. So yeah, the mayor of Barcelona obviously clicks on that, and she ends up having this extension. So in terms of KPIs, I'm analyzing the number of downloads from this extension on Chrome Web Store. And also I have the objective of awareness when it comes to the traffic to the blog with related searches. And also this awareness when it comes to the traffic to the landing on the blog from organic social media posts and also mailing. So here are some next steps. Get to know much better this Google Analytics, Search Console, and SEMrush. And also contact with Donestech, which is a feminist collective that develops this kind of technological and digital products. And also contact with Domestic Data Streamers, which is a brand that I really love. So special thanks to Melissa, Julieta, Franci, and allWomen team. You have been we feel you're really close. And just a final thought that I was thinking the other day, like Palabrota is also a tool to improve user experience because it's a way to a more inclusive and secure digital space, right? And also Palabrota wants to know all your questions. And that's it.
Bravo, Marta, amazing, great presentation. I love your storytelling and also that you walk us through all your process, even on your presentation on the top, like question problem, you were, crossing that. It was awesome, perfect UX for a presentation, I would say. Any questions or thoughts and comments?
I'm willing to know if your purpose is to make it real or not.
Yes,
I love it. I mean,
that's this thing about next steps. That's completely true. I mean, I need to get to Google Analytics too, but Donestech is a collective from Barcelona, and they come from programming and developing, so they can we can go co-work together, I think.
Of course.
And also with students from allWomen, sure.
Yeah, it was just thinking about it. It came to my mind, like we have machine learning students, developers, so just keep in touch with them.
Also because it's the extension, it's okay and it's fast. I guess it's easier to do it on Chromecast when you talk about a computer, so desktop. But I think you have to think in mobile too, and then I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the technology is a little bit more difficult, but I think, of course, it can be possible, like an application or something, because people interact in social media mostly in mobile. So it would be nice that you get good developers to get to know that. But I congratulations. I love it. All the work, the presentation. Of course, the idea, but I knew the project. But yeah, congratulations. You have to do that. And also, I don't know, maybe you also to think, a question about how are you going to live from that, no? So I know it's free and it has to be for free, but maybe of course it has to be for free, but you also have to live. So I don't know if you consider some other like collaborations, or I don't know, to get
Thank you.
Get profit.
Anyone else for comment or question?
Yeah, I just wanted to say excellent job, and very, very, very clear application of the branding and the copywriting. So very great job. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Marie.
Yeah, very nice, very pro presentation. It was also very visually, verbally pleasing, and your storytelling was very efficient. How you were taking us through your problem statement and your solution proposition. Fantastic work. Yeah.
Thank you.
And what do you feel are your main insights? Because I remember our conversations in the beginning, how you felt like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I don't have the technical skills.
Yeah.
And I said, but work on the concept, work on
Yes.
the concept of it,
Yes.
and then when you have that clear, see who you could, contact. So what are your insights?
Yes. So for the first 3 weeks, I wanted to change the idea because I didn't feel secure with it. But now I feel more confident. I feel I have an idea to sell to, for instance, this collective, or even a team that comes from the technological perspective that can co-work with me this idea. And yes, I feel I have been narrowing also the kind of comments and the kind of, how can I designate this hatred space is so big, no? But if you tell it's bot and it's troll, it's much more narrow, So I'm happy with this. Less stress, at least.
Yeah, great. And something that comes to my mind as well is, the crowdfunding opportunities with it. Another thing is also, I'm obviously thinking of how you identify content to be blocked, no? But it's almost like I'm thinking of this kind of like an editorial team, the tagging thing. It's almost like Wikipedia, no? It's like, which is more of an NGO kind of body, no? Yeah. Okay, good. Excellent work. Thank you so much. And good luck with your next steps. Absolutely take this further on.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Marta. Amazing. And so you can stop sharing. And next one is going to be Isa.
Okay. Okay, just let me know if you can see my presentation. Yes?
Yes, it's coming.
Okay,
Yeah, perfect.
I hope I'm not going to have any issues, but if so, just let me know, okay? I can't see you, so just tell me, because I have it full screen. Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Isabella, and I would like to tell you the story. Once upon a time, there was a girl. She was upset, alone, lost, and insecure. One day, she woke up and decided to change her life. She started therapy, dived into yoga, and discovered a new, better version of herself. That was a long and difficult journey, but finally, she got to her destination. She found happiness and love. This girl was me. Nowadays, just like me, many young people give up chances upon them, letting their insecurities, fears, and past take over. Those people without help most likely will never be happy with themselves and therefore will be not able to build healthy relationships. All that I went through could be included in a simpler formula. Work on your self-growth, find your passion, meet new inspiring people, and travel. And this is exactly what Life Editors is about. Life Editors' concept is to create a community of single people and send them on retreats to change their life. 1 week of holidays filled with activities, coaching sessions, and challenges that will help the participants discover what's the best inside of them. I had the pleasure to work for Life Editors as a community coordinator. While working, I had a close contact with prospect and existing customers. And one of the feedbacks was the fact that the content on the website was unclear. In fact, it was a little bit confusing and some people misread the advertisement. Additionally, my idea is to create an online community on the website. My first step in the process was to investigate my competitors and see what they talk about. Let's take a look at the insights of my benchmarking. In Google, I searched for retreats for single people or community for single people, and I came across some websites offering either solo retreats like spa, luxury massages, yoga, etc., or some more activities like hiking or kayaking. And I also found a community like websites, as well as some forums like Connecting Singles or Date Your Age. First observation, there is no focus on young singles in 20s until 40s, and none of these online communities shares the value of self-development based on fun, networking, and meaningful connections with other people. And this is where I place my brand on the spectrum. Having known my strong and weak points, I defined my audience to be in the age between 20 to 40 years, single, should be equally as many women as men for each trip, they should be in need of changing something in their life, they should like traveling and be open-minded. And when I knew to whom can I address my questions, I launched a survey to find out my users' needs. Here are some interesting results. For the question, would you like to go alone on 1 week holiday to a beautiful place like Tenerife, for example, and meet new single people? The majority of questioned were interested and 24% were amazed by the idea. Moreover, almost all of my responders showed interest in joining the community. People also answered that they are looking for partners and they wish to change something in their life, mostly their healthy habits and financial situation. Thanks to my research, I've found a clear picture of my users' personas and their journey. Here we have Carolina. She's a Polish girl living in Spain. She works a lot and doesn't have much time for dating nor meeting new people. She was heartbroken once. Now she's focusing mainly on her job. She's ambitious and likes challenges. She would like to practice more mindfulness and release stress also and work on herself in order to find love. Next persona I created is Miguel. He's a Spanish boy that is funny and attractive. He likes dating but is not looking for love, although he would like to find a partner eventually. For now, he's more focused on making money and having fun. And he needs inspiring people as well as networking in his life. Here I would like to present two different users' journeys. Here we have again Carolina, which finds out about life editors by organic research. So she types in Google solo trips after reading a blog post about this topic. After a bit of research, she discovers our page. She's a little bit skeptical in the beginning, so she fills the contact form to find out more. We give her a call, and then she's left with no doubts. So she books a retreat in Tenerife. She absolutely loves it, and then decides to join the community online, and even then books another trip. Miguel discovers life editors thanks to the community referral. He then goes to the website. He's curious, so he joins the community for hoping to find some networking opportunities. Then he finds out about the retreats because he's talking to a lot of people on the forum and decides to join them in Lisbon. He has so much time and learns a lot. So once I found how my audience looks like and what they go through, I also started forming my brand's personality. Verbal identity starts with defining an archetype. For mine, I chose 3 traits to describe what my brand is like. And this is a person guiding, caring, and exciting, which is a combination of 2 archetypes, a sage, that is understanding, and a hero, because I visualize my brand as the wise young hero. And this wise young hero voice is clear because there is a lot of information that needs to be explained well. Easy because digestible content, easy for busy people. And exciting, that is laid back and encouraging voice that motivates young audience. Voice's tone balances between serious and whimsical, and it's appropriately formal and informal when it needs to be. Here is the tone on the user's journey, so you can see how it changes depending on where they are. And some key examples, which I divided into retreats and also community, as well as group them in short tail and long tail. Looking at my Seo guidelines, I decided for the tools to use, that is for the website, and that was created already in the Squarespace, and there is analytics tool on the site. I choose Trello to manage the tasks and SEMrush to check the keywords. For the KPIs, we need to focus on the page views, blog posts, and numbers of signups, as well as bookings. And goal is to appear in top 3 Google search. Now let's move to the visual part of my brand. And we are starting here with the mood board, which contains some inspirations, photos, and types of photos that I would use on the website. And for the typography, we start with the logo. So here we can see the logo that is used right now, which is more like just a graphic, not real logo. And I decided to create something more meaningful. So I chose this simple symbol of infinity that is transformed into a couple holding hands. Next step was to define color palette and fonts. So I wanted to choose neutral colors to emphasize gender inclusivity, and browns are associated with stability, strength, grounding, and earth, whereas blue represents authority and intelligence, but also symbolizes the sky, like infinity. However, for most of the backgrounds, I use white color to keep it simple. Font selection was not an easy task, but finally I chose 2 main typefaces. And first is Fredoka 1 because it's big, bold, and represents fun. Also has a quite whimsical vibe that matches my bronze tone. And Kpis for the body text. That is sans serif typeface based on geometry. It's modern, clear, and easy to read, just like my bronze voice. With all the guidelines and rules set, we are ready to create the valuable content for the website. And here is my proposition of the homepage that contains the name, the logo, the tagline, and the sidekick. And next one is a proposition of the sign-up page and some ideas for the content. That would have to be definitely a clear offer with the pricing and what's included, some blog post ideas, definitely some reviews highlighted, community online, and networking. Also below the fold, we would see the product description, which is clear with a little catchy phrase when some say CTAs. And also this would be how the profile of the user would look like. And here, intelligent content, so the user could see the propositions of the people that they can add to their contact and connect with them. Here would be the ideas for the blog and how the blog page would look like. And this is it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Bravo, Isa. Amazing presentation. Any question, feedback, or comments out there? Jolene?
Well, I just want to say that I think you really killed it with your presentation, and I think just your entire design. I mean, I kind of already told you, but as you know, I'm such a big fan of how everything just flows so nicely in each other in this presentation, but also in like the visual design that you chose that represents your brand so well. I personally think, and you can really just see that in your entire presentation as well, and I really love that. I personally think you did a really, really, really good job. So
thank you. Thanks, Jolene. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jolene. Anyone else? No, so thank you, Isa. Yeah, Ada.
I really like the storytelling. It was how you started and like how you connected all of it. I really, really enjoyed.
Thank you, Aida.
Oh, nice. Great storytelling. Miriam? Jeremy?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I was going to say the same that Aida said, that I really like the storytelling, and I think you really did a deep search in keywords also, that you work that very well to find the words that people may look for your project. So also the SEO guideline was very clear, and I think also the tools, I think you were very clear on the tools and everything that you needed to create the. Also, I really like the logo, although it's not I'm not a designer. Also, I really like
Me neither.
you do the transcription to the logo on the storytelling. So congratulations.
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you because you helped me with the keywords a lot, and
No
I wasn't too sure about it before, and you and Elise helped me, so thank you.
That's our job.
Maddie?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that presentation. Fantastic work, Issa. It's like you've really been very focused during the 10 weeks and asked us a lot of questions, which is great because it also supports you in evolving throughout the process. I liked also that you described the SEO tools that you would be using as well, and how you would be using them. Actually, it's really nice that you included that in your presentation, and how your redesign proposals giving more clarity to the product offer. Very nicely done. I remember when we started, 10 weeks ago, and is it 11 weeks ago now, perhaps, no? But because of the COVID and the travel restrictions, you were kind of looking into the online community part and how to expand that. What's been your kind of take on that these 10 weeks? What any content ideas do you come up for expanding the online community part?
I mean, initial idea was to create also content online that would be like some online sessions and something that on demand that we would offer to people instead of trips right now, because the situation is so unstable. But after the research of the user research, when I was asking in the survey the questions, people were not interested in that. And to be honest, that's why I resigned from this thing completely and decided to focus more on the community, because then this in the future can maybe help to grow the company, the idea of the retreats. So that's what we would rather focus on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck with the project.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Great job, Isa. Thank you. And next one is going to be Aida.
2 seconds. Yep. Can you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm Aida and I'm from Cyprus, and my project will be about Cyprus. So I try to follow the design thinking process as much as I can throughout the whole presentation. So I started with research and emphasizing the background and the problem and the objectives. So as you know, or you don't, Cyprus is divided into two, north and south, because we had a war and the borders remained closed until 1974. And when it was finally opened in 2003, people started to cross, but it's been a very long time since then that we still are very separate with our social lives and also economic backgrounds as well. So the separation is causing a socio-economic growth throughout the island. And I believe that partly this is caused by the lack of information. And the objectives is that swiftly and delicately challenge the social perspectives by presenting the locals with a variety of accessible opportunities on where to go, eat, stay, shop, and volunteer, and even find jobs. So my benchmark, I will save you from the misery and I will explain it like this better. So what sets us apart from our main competitors is that we are only focused on Cyprus. We are small business friendly. We are including both north and south side of the island, which is, we cannot find that in the other platforms because they either have north or south, and also the audience as well. We are not only, but we are focused on people who are living in Cyprus or traveling Cyprus. And also their content is mostly related to activities and travel, and we are adding volunteering and job options as well. So this is a quote from one of the participants of the research saying that I want to see a bi-communal revolution with people rising from the coffee shops to start questioning the way we are living. And the user research methods are quantitative, survey, 17 questions, 44 participants in total, and qualitative, which was like 30 to 40 minutes in-depth interviews with 5 Turkish-speaking Cypriots and 5 Greek-speaking Cypriots. And my main objective was to find out how many Cypriots are crossing, how often, where are they going, how are they finding places to go, what's their common visit, like what's the common reasons of their visits, and what are their main struggles when they're on the other side. So the places they go and like visit the most, they find out from recommendations from friends and family and social media as well, as we can see. And this is a very Cypriot thing that I always go to the same places that I know. We would like to stick with the familiar. And what is the most common reasons of your visit when you cross on the other side of the island? And we can see like mainly people replied as shopping. And what they like to explore more is beaches, because we have many untouched beaches. They're not so spoiled by tourists all over the seasons. And historical attractions, shops, restaurants, and nightlife as well, and outdoor activities. So during my interviews, mainly the participants answered the same, more or less, to the questions, except one, which I think it was a very interesting finding because I believe she represents a specific group on both sides. So my questions were, are you open to cross to the other side? Are you open to make friends? Are you open to explore? And this participant almost like answered all of the questions as no, as like she is not interested, because there's still a feeling of grief and separation, and mainly because of what like war brought to her family. So my personas are based on my research. We have Eda, she is 21 years old. She is from North Cyprus. She is friendly, outgoing. She likes to go out, discover new places. She doesn't speak Greek, and her family doesn't get paid in euros, which is now like a bigger issue than ever because of the currency crisis. She is afraid of driving, so she prefers walking. And we have this like common struggle that we lose internet service once we are like far on the other side, and in this way like she can get lost, and this is a struggle for her too. And what we can do is that we can add language preferences and translation options, and we can give her the options to sort out to places to go from more economical to more expensive, so she can decide on her behalf on what she can do. And another persona, which is also like based on the research, is George. He's 35 years old. He's married with 2 children, and he's a restaurant owner. And he thinks that half of the country is occupied and the reunification is not possible. He's hardworking, traditional. He wants to attract more customers to his restaurant because it's not in a touristy area, so he lacks visibility to attract tourists. And he only speaks Greek, and he is not open to form relations with Turkish-speaking Cypriots. What we can do for him, again, we can include language preferences and translation options. We can give him options to choose his target group with keywords that he can use within the app. And we can give him the option of premium membership, which will help him to prioritize his advertisements. So the brand guidelines, emotion over logic. Here, thinking that the problem is already solved, our vision is to create a digital bridge between the South and the North through shared experiences and an online community. Our mission is to encourage Cypriots to get out of their comfort zone, to discover the island while making new friends. And our core value is that there will be no political agenda or parties involved. And our value proposition to users is outstanding user experience, trust, and differentiated offering. For our partners, visibility. Business owners will gain visibility and advertisement opportunities. Ranking-based feedback can help them receive feedback from the customers, which eventually they can use to improve their services. And high value leads to access to a platform where both local or tourist users are looking to book accommodations, attractions, and restaurants. And this is our brand tagline: getting out of your comfort zone is just minutes away, because it's literally just minutes away. The borders are just like 100 meters away. Like you will just like cross to the other side, which is a bit like unknown to many Cypriots, because we are so familiar with the site that we are living in. We are very used to it. And once we are on the other side, unquote, everything just seems as new. Our brand archetype is Explorer, because we like to encourage traveling and being open-minded. And our personality is lighthearted and considerate. By eliminating the political and the separatist language, we can achieve a tone that is subtly uniting, and being optimistic and entertaining can ignite the feeling of friendliness between the people and the product. Our voice is witty, considerate, and trustworthy. We are lighthearted, helpful, and consistent with how we communicate. And verbal guidelines include being conversational, always leaving the blank spaces with questions, filtering and removing the hate-rooted comments and reviews, swearing, racism, and fascism, and using Cypriot dialect words or saying when it's appropriate. Such as we have like the same food, we would call the same. So for example, we can, if there's a restaurant that is famous for that food, we can just write the food as it is, and we all understand. And don't remove the hate-rooted reviews, stick to users' real experiences, political debates, discussion, naming any political party or figure, nationality-related words such as Greek or Turkish as well. We are refusing to use it. And features and rules, again, adding Cypriot and Greek, Cypriot Turkish versions of the specific words that we all have in common, using an active voice, always addressing the user as you. Every language option will be typed as how it's written on their own language. Again, we are here eliminating the words as like Greek or Turkish, and giving the businesses the recommendations to giving the businesses opportunities to filter out words to help their profile shine more into what they want. And yeah, and also like businesses and tour guides option for pronouncing their name and adding it to their profile as an audio, like they can just save it and edit. So because I understand like some of the Greek or like Turkish names could be harder to pronounce to one another. And this is our sitemap, recommended options, menu settings, and COVID, because we have this like constant change of rules where sometimes in a month you will need a PCR test to cross, in another month you won't. So we would like to keep updated on that too. And visual branding, imagination of reality. Our name is Local Cyprus, in short, Local Cyp. And the style guide, I chose to use allWomen Pro for all of them, using all of the bodies. Colors, I chose the colors on Cyprus's national flowers. I don't know how to pronounce their names in English, but the colors are out of those. And visual guidelines, we have specific requirements for pixels. On reviews, we need for businesses, minimum 5 pictures, national attractions, minimum 5 pictures, and like by users, the reviews, we need minimum 2 pictures. And for the graphics, use only colors. For backgrounds, main call to action will always be filled with black. Selected options will be highlighted with black background. Below 10 points and confirmation and error messages text will be always in all caps. And here is a bit of a glimpse of what it could look like. I like to add these colors because I also want to distract from like all of those like harsh feelings, and I feel like these pastel tones help with that. And here in the app we can see like we can choose the cities, which is this is like automatically just chooses because the user is in Larnaca, but once click and it could open up the other cities options. Currency is very important, especially nowadays, so we can always keep our users updated with the daily currency rates. And here we have the COVID restrictions. And here we have an error message saying that we are still working on this page for you. Thank you for your patience. And SEO guidelines for Kpis, we want the people to download the app and increase our organic presence. For tools, Google Analytics for measuring the organic traffic, SEMrush, Keywords tool, and Google Search Console. The next step is forming a bi-communal team of developer, designers, and market specialists. Get to know SEO tools better, definitely. Design and test both the app and web. Pitch the idea to the investors and implement advertising campaigns all over Cyprus. Okay, thank you.
Well done. Amazing. Hope to see those next steps for sure. Go for the investors. Nice. Any question or comment? Come on.
I love your. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Go for it, Marta.
I love your visuals and how did you. Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, we can hear you well, Marta.
Oh yeah, no.
Then I loved your visuals, and are you hearing me right now?
Yes.
And the fact that you choose the national flowers for your colors, that was so nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. I got a bit excited. I was very excited for this presentation. So sorry if my storytelling was not so flowy.
It was great.
Thank you.
Martina?
I like the colors you've chosen, and I think it's a pretty challenging task you've chosen yourself to. Can you hear me? I have my microphone.
Yes.
Okay, now you can hear me better. And I think you've chosen a pretty difficult task, and like when it comes to language, and yeah, I'm impressed. It's cool.
Thank you so much, Martina.
Thank you, Martina. Isa?
Well, first of all, I just would like to express that I'm super impressed because you chose such a serious topic, and it is amazing that you can put something so serious like this kind of conflict into very easy, eye-pleasing, and such a cool app. And if you would go with it like in real life, I think you would be super success because it's absolutely amazing. And design-wise, like you rocking, like really
my God,
big.
thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you.
I completely agree. And last but not least, Marie.
Hi there. Thank you so much for that, Ida. That was really lovely presentation, and how you package this kind of challenge into something that's very, very kind of enticing and interesting and feels warm and welcoming. I was thinking, I remember, as I understood, you were previously on this project in a UX course. Yeah. So what was your learnings and discoveries that you have taken with you from applying content design and UX writing onto this project during these 10 weeks?
Yeah, it definitely changed all of my perspective on it, because while I was doing UX course, I was more like focused into not to content, but like how I can resolve this problem essentially, and like identifying the problem. But when it came to this course, I really appreciated the whole organization and the whole process that you all told us on how to follow up and how to really structure that problem solving. It really helped on that. And not definitely now like design, like how it looks and like how it should feel and how like what can essentially solve this problem, can all of it, like it's very clear to me now. and obviously always like improving, but I've improved so much than before.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now, yes, the last one, Marianne.
Well, thank you, Aida. I also agree with Mary and Anita about your work, and I think you have to take it live. And please count on me and Elisa, okay, for all the SEO part that I know that sometimes it's difficult but it's really relevant also to position for you on the digital side of life. So congratulations, and of course, you have our emails and our phone and everything. So if I can help you a little bit more with your project, count on me. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Aida. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, and absolutely, you have such great content now for kind of launching it as a crowdfund activity, and just see where it takes you. It kind of just it can be surprised by the support that you'll get.
Yeah.
From both sides of Cyprus and from outside as well. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I've already talked with some of the like organizations that are linked with investors as well, and they also think that it's feasible. So I would really want to focus on making it real. So thank you.
For sure. Okay, so sorry, we are going with the next one, Megan.
Okay. Hello. So I got a COVID positive test the other day, so I'm gonna try not to sneeze my way through the presentation.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. And okay, can everyone see?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great. So I'll start by introducing myself. So I've been a journalist for the last decade, and the main subject that I focus on is gender violence, so violence against women. And I got my start in Latin America, working in Argentina and in Chile. So that's where I really started writing about these subjects. And it happened kind of at a convenient time for journalism, because suddenly this became a bit of a buzzworthy topic around 2015, 2016, when basically giant women's movements around the world started really protesting against violence against women, and then Me Too happened. So this was kind of a buzzworthy topic. So let's quickly define what femicide is. According to the UN, it's the intentional murder of women, usually perpetrated by men. And this operates at multiple levels. Basically, there's an interpersonal level that we can see happening, within relationships or in families. And then there's a larger societal structural level. Basically, that means that these problems are exacerbated by structural inequality and lack of government policy. So what I noticed in my reporting and writing for mainly American and British publications was that those publications were very happy to write about femicide happening abroad in Latin America or Spain or France even, but there wasn't a whole lot of news about how it was happening at home. So for me in the US, for example, but it definitely is an issue there. And we see that in the statistics. In the US, 3 women a day are killed because of their gender. And that's actually a lot higher than the rate in France, for example. But there are no official registries tracking this. And you don't really see a lot of articles talking about this. So a couple of organizations, well, they're mainly individual people, actually have tried to remedy this by tracking the murder of women in the US. So up in the upper left-hand corner, you have one of the main sites called Women Count USA, and it's entirely handled by this one woman. She's a nurse, and she single-handedly counts women who've been murdered by looking through press reports. that she keeps it all in a database. There's a little image to the right of it. Then you have other women who do it for different communities. Like here we've got Black femicide. This is, again, a similar concept. There's a woman, she's also a nurse, in fact, and she tracks the number of women of color who are killed in the US, and she does it directly on Twitter. Then you also get the press then that tries to raise some awareness about this lack of knowledge about this issue, just again, because the government doesn't really track this. But what we're missing, despite these individual people's incredible work and efforts tabulating the violence, is reports really, or comprehensive analysis of risk factors and policy effectiveness. So I decided to do a little bit of research and talk to my network, which includes a lot of journalists and people who work for NGOs or who are quite policy oriented, and ask them a few questions about what they think we're missing and what they would be most interested in if it came to when it came to a platform about femicide. So what I found was that almost 50% of respondents were familiar with the term femicide, but they were a little bit unclear about its correct usage or when it should be used. 100% said they were most interested in learning about policies at the local and national level, more so than learning about individual victims or the perpetrators. Most of them are pretty savvy when it comes to social media. They're on Instagram and on Twitter. And then also, interestingly, they don't really think that gender violence is the most pressing issue of the day, because they think that something like climate change really takes precedence and exacerbates other issues like racial justice or gender violence, but basically that all of these different issues should be looked at together. So based on who I was interviewing and myself, really, since I'm the one who's been looking at femicide around the world, so I just drew up this user persona. So it's a progressive journalist, politically left-leaning, in favor of advocacy, but not necessarily an activist themselves. Their goal is to find more information about femicide for work, to write an article or to do a radio broadcast or what have you. Right, as I just said, some of the challenges is that they consider other related issues to be just as important, if not more important, than gender violence. And yeah. So here we've got a bit of a user journey. So a platform about femicide really would have to allow a journalist to find the information that they need, and then ideally they would cite that information in their article. So quote from the platform or the reports on the platform. And then ideally, to keep this kind of alive, they would become a member of a community that would be formed around this platform by participating on it. And I have a couple of suggestions for that, which I'll talk about in a second. So this all led me to think of this platform, which I would call She Counted. For two reasons. It's not exactly a play on word, but it has a double meaning. She Counted, it would almost be like a gesture to the women who created those databases, whether on Twitter or on other platforms, and who've been single-handedly counting women who've been murdered in the US. But also, obviously, She Counted as in She Mattered, the women who are victims to this. And my vision was that it is the leading informational platform about femicide in the US. The mission is to inform and contextualize the causes and effects of femicide in the US by providing analyses of the violence. And the value proposition statement is to influence policy to combat femicide. We will provide data-driven analyses and guides for journalists and NGOs to help them identify and understand the factors that put women's lives in danger. So our core values are that it's fact-based, it's contextual, and it's intersectional. I guess one thing that I wanted to make very important is that since we're not just a database, we're not just collecting loads and loads of data, we are actually explaining it. So that's why it's contextual and intersectional, because as I found in my research, people want to know how different factors and policies and crises, whether climate change or racism, et cetera, exacerbates gender violence for certain communities. So in terms of benchmarking, I looked quite a bit at what other countries were doing outside of the US, mainly in Latin America and in Spain, as I've been able to see in my work. A lot of women's movements have created pretty robust platforms in which they do provide reports about femicide. So those were the main ones that I was comparing this particular platform against. In terms of personality, I'm definitely going very, very professional, quite serious, but I don't want it to be boring either, which will bring me to some other points. The brand archetype, I am going for the sage. Here I've got a picture of Diana Russell instead of the dude that was on the wheel. She was the woman who kind of brought femicide into the modern time. Femicide is a term that's existed for a while, but it wasn't really applied in a gender violence context until she started using it that way. So coming to voice, I would want it to be helpful, professional, and direct. Again, the emphasis being on helpful because we want to educate our audience. We don't really want to bully or yell at them into understanding this. Professional is self-explanatory, really, and direct. And that even though we're talking about certain things that can be quite academic, like gender violence, we don't want to write a thesis. We want to keep our language quite clear and make sure that we're reaching a wide audience. The tone will oscillate between serious and helpful. But again, by serious, we don't mean boring, we just mean professional. And by helpful, we mean empathetic, but never sentimental. So yeah, here's my tone spectrum. The reports that we will write that provide the analyses will obviously be more on the serious side of things. Any attempt to receive donations from users or other partnerships will be serious, but anything else I think on the website would be more on the helpful end of things. Principles are coherent, accessible, and friendly. Accessible, again, kind of going back to what I was talking before, we don't want this to be an ivory tower. We don't want to be too academic. A lot of the reports that I read in my work are often very, very jargony and full of acronyms, and I don't want this platform to be that way because it will, I think, discourage people from engaging with it and reading fully what it's about. Coherent, I think it's very important for terminology to be the same. Again, certain reports that I read kind of are all over the place in terms of the expressions they use, you know, interchanging between domestic violence and interpersonal violence and things like that. And that can get confusing for someone who's not very familiar with this whole world. So we want to keep it uniform so that it's clear. Here are a couple of verbal guidelines and rules. So I would want to be very clear about defining certain terms like femicide when it applies, because obviously not every woman's death is a femicide. There has to be some kind of intentional gender-based violence behind it. And women, we want to be inclusive and make it clear that by women we mean female-presenting persons, and that we're not excluding the trans community, for example. As I said, no acronyms, and certain rules we would use US and not America. That's because I think we would hope to get a lot of traffic, or at least have some exchange with groups in South America who, from my experience, prefer US to be used when designated the United States, not America, as America can refer to the whole continent. A little bit about design. So the colors that I would want to use would be with these blues and blacks and pale gold. I've seen so many sites dedicated to gender-based violence that seem either too dour or too aggressive with lots of reds and blacks, and I wanted to avoid that. My titles and heads would be in Alegria, the text in Montserrat, and another note about visuals. I would never shy away really from using photographs and use illustrations instead. I think that gives it a bit of a friendlier and in a way more human touch, really, because we're not depicting real people, which I think can be almost a little bit aggressive. And I would want to make sure that alt text accompanies every visual. And here is a very, very basic prototype of what the platform would look like. By the way, the illustrations are by my sister, who's an illustrator, and she happened to have these on the back burner, so she offered that I use them. A little bit about the content within this. Here's a sitemap. So I would have my homepage that would link to an about page, which would include a definition about femicide, and then another page about how it's viewed and treated around the world. So a bit of information about how all these other women's movements have really tackled this issue in a way that the US hasn't, because I think often the US can be quite navel-gazing and forget that other people around the world are also addressing similar things. And then a bit about the platform itself. So the reports would be broken down into two kinds of reports. There would be an annual or annual ones that would look at the year in review and look at overall arching trends there. And then special reports that would look at how other issues like climate change or racial justice or other preeminent issues of the day are impacting gender violence. A resources section would have links to the databases that I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation. So these women's sites that have been counting femicide, and then also hotlines and help for victims if ever they came onto this page. Then I would have a geo map, which would be a special feature that kind of serves as community building. Basically, I would encourage journalists who have either used the platform or not to drop articles that they've written about femicide on a drawing of a map of the US. And like that, we would start creating our own database, really, of news articles and stories on the page itself. And again, in a visually pleasing way on a map. Stories would be the blog. And then finally contact. And then I would have various pages linking back to a donate button, but I wouldn't want it to be on the first page because from my own experience and also speaking to other journalists, I think we get discouraged from pages that immediately ask us to give them money when we're not earning that much money to begin with. I've just gone over the special features. The geomap, right, femicide around the world, making sure we have a kind of global angle. The fact that we're inclusive, and also we would have a monthly newsletter. A bit about SEO. Our short tail are fairly self-explanatory: femicide, murdered women, gender violence. One thing that would be important for the US is also really honing in on domestic violence as a term, because femicide is just not a really it's not a term that's used very much in English, or in the US at least, and I think a lot more people will Google domestic violence, as I was able to see on Google Trends. So I think we'd have to find a way to bring those two in together. Then long tail would be some of these examples, like what is femicide, murder women US, gender violence, deaths US. Again, just being clear to put the US in there, because femicide is often associated with other countries. Stories, I think, will be very important to bring in traffic. So here is an example of one that I would do, titled "The US Loves Dead Girl Stories, Here's Why It's a Problem." So it's a bit of a provocative way to get people to read this. And this would be an example of a post that makes the connection between femicide and pop culture. That kind of looks like at how true crime is such a booming industry in the US. We have got so many true crime podcasts and series, and I mean, I personally love them, so I'm not even throwing shade at it, but it is interesting in how it often obscures the fact that at the heart of these stories are stories about femicide. It's women getting murdered. So anyway, so this could be kind of a more interesting way of getting people to read up about femicide. I would also use the stories as a way to make the link between domestic violence and femicide, because as I said, most people Google domestic violence and not femicide directly. So my KPIs, fairly straightforward. There would be, I could see this based on the reports that are being downloaded, the GeoMap participation, newsletter signups, and Google traffic, again, from the stories. But also I think social media would play an important part. I would want to be very active on Instagram and again, use kind of illustrations and interesting, engaging designs to ask, questions like, oh, what is the link between domestic violence and blah, 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 you know, ask interesting questions that people would want to click on and then come to the site. And my next steps would be to create partnerships with newsrooms, because again, I do want to expand beyond strictly journalists and have people who work in the NGO world and who are activists. But I do think journalists are my core audience. So I would want to make partnerships with newsrooms, eventually offer courses and workshops on data journalism and ethics for femicide coverage, and organize panels and talks with experts in gender-based violence. Like that, we can start creating a bigger community and hopefully having more people involved in the project. And that is it. So thank you so much for your time, and happy to hear any questions.
Well, Daniela, yours muted.
Thank you so much. Great presentation, and it's super interesting topic that I believe not only in Latin America and from Venezuela, and I know Argentina and Chile are Mexico are the main countries that are facing this, because now they have voice. But I believe in countries such as Ecuador, Paraguay, Venezuela, Colombia, and moreover everywhere, like I believe everywhere, every country in the world is facing this, and it's important to have this kind of project out there. So thank you. Jolene?
Yeah, I just want to say that because this was quite a difficult project, right? Because one, it did not exist yet, which was, I think, like quite ambitious, and it's a difficult topic. But I think that personally, I think that you managed very well, which also, I mean, I think you made everything very clear throughout your entire presentation, and it was all just very, I don't know. I think it was really good, because I know how what's the word? Okay, I can't think of the word right now, but how it was, like, not difficult, but something. And yeah, I think you managed to do a very good job design-wise, but also now to explain your entire process and the choices that you made. And also, I still kind of really like the Dead Girl blog thingy. Though I have a question about apple pie, but that's not for now. So we'll discuss it another time.
Thanks, Jolene.
Marta?
Yes, I love how you treat that topic, how you choose that Diana Rousseau for the. Yes, I love it, and the relationship between pop culture and femicide and this kind of content we have now. I think I love it. I love how you treat all of this content. Thanks so much.
Miriam?
Hello, sorry because I had to change. I'm on the taxi going home. That's why I just took the camera a little bit, but I was listening. First of all, Megan, I hope you're feeling better about the COVID. Well, all of us, we are going to get it somehow in some point, so it's better now. So I want also to congratulate you. I think your project is amazing. All the job that you have done and all the things that you're willing to do, no? So to visualize that, also to share with the other girls, no, all the problems that we have for finding that short tail and long tail, because it's like block. We discovered that it was very, very difficult to find that keywords, not because it's not that so competent, or like people is not earning money from that. So I think it's really irrelevant, and I think it's brilliant, and it points that you really have to do that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Isa?
Yeah, first of all, I really liked how clear was your presentation and how you also showed the personality into that. That it's like serious, but exactly as you were emphasizing, it's helpful. And I love the fact that you are so knowledgeable. You showed even like pieces of your articles there, so it's definitely shown that you have big experience in that. And I love that this serious topic, you're trying to make it so engaging. So with the illustrations, and maybe even if you make it real, you can have your sister collaboration, because these illustrations were great, and you can like collaborate together to have such an important topic that then yeah, go on Instagram and make it big, because it's something that can really go big. So congratulations, I loved it.
Thanks, Lizzie.
Thank you, Megan. So we have 2 more presentations. Next one is going to be Sabrina.
Oh, can I just step in and say thank you,
Yes,
Megan,
for
for such
sure.
a thorough presentation of your product, and it shines through every thought that you put into it, throughout your decision-making process. It's like everything is just very, very thought through, and it all makes sense. Good luck, yes, with this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Sabrina, now you can go.
Okay, let me share my screen. Could you see my screen?
Yes, it's coming.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas,
Oh, no, sorry.
no worries.
Oh. Well, you will see all the presentation.
No worries, no worries.
Okay. So
there you go.
Okay. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sabrina, and today I will present you my project about the brand redesign for Hold It, and I will explain you in a few minutes why I chose this brand. So when I was a child, I was passionate about 2 things: writing, languages, and technology. And I was always stealing my dad's computer. And all my career and studies have been marked between this duality between computer science and the humanities. What happened is that some months ago I discovered content design and UX writing, and I was super curious about it. Then I got a job as technical writer at Hold It, and that's involving that involves also UX writing. And so I took on the courage to sign up for the course for allWomen, and this is why I'm here today. Then I will explain to you what is AllDid. AllDid is a scale-up, meaning that this is that now it's bigger than a startup, and AllDid produces a platform that's a business management platform. What is this? It's a tool that helps users and automate all the range of action involved in running a small or medium business. For example, invoicing, checking reports, taking care of the team, handling projects, handling expenses. And here you can see the screenshot with the navigation bar with all the features that the platform has. So what's the problem here? More than a problem, I imagined a scenario. I imagined that maybe the company wants to expand on the UK market. This is something that it's mentioned in the About Us page of the website, and by the co-founders. So we plan to go beyond and tell businesses all over Europe where we have already seen high interest in our software. So this scenario is quite realistic. What we have, there is already a global US English version of the website and the app. The thing is that the product has evolved and keeps evolving quite quickly. So when I imagine users getting on the landing page, I see them asking, what is this product about? Do I have to download it? What are SMEs? And what exactly can I do with it? And the plan to solve this problem, it's to provide reviewed and updated product information for the business management platform. So the customers can manage fast, clearly, and effectively all business areas. What's the mission and vision then? They want to be the first ERP. ERP, sorry, it means Enterprise Relationship Management. No, sorry. Enterprise Relationship Program. So they want to be the first ERP partner for small and medium businesses in UK. And the mission is to provide the most intuitive and efficient all-in-one business management solution for small and medium businesses. Then the next question is, who is the product addressed to? And identified various user personas. What they have in common is that the fact of managing the business is seen a bit like a burden. And what they have in common is also that 3 out of 4 start their journey on the website. So at the beginning, my idea was to represent all the business journey of Sarah, the small business owner, but I got only the web page, so we'll show you that today. Well, we can skip this. What the personality will be the brand have? For the brand archetype, I thought about a wise, friendly hero that combines knowledge and mastery. Here we are talking about accounting, banking, so very delicate matters. So of course, the company needs to have knowledge about all this stuff, and also needs to master well how to handle it. The attributes for them, the brand archetype, are trustworthy, helpful, and friendly. Trustworthy because customers are putting in their hand a lot of sensitive data. And imagine also losing from day to another all the data invoices that you have for your business. So it needs to be completely trustworthy. Then, of course, helpful, because as I saw in the research for the user persona, customers might not be so into that stuff, such as invoices, accounting. So the way they talk to the customers need also to put them in at ease, no? And friendly, because I want the brand to be like professional, but also friendly, close to the users. So taking into account the brand archetype, I defined the brand voice with the 3 attributes of the archetype, such as trustworthy. So the business is the voice is confident but still humble. No, they need to inspire a sense of trust in the users. helpful because the concepts are expressed clearly in an informative and straightforward way. And we don't leave users wondering about what is this and what is that. And friendly because it's close to the user. It makes them feel understood. Because also one point of the user research was like this sense of relief that people will experience once they find a solution to handle all this stuff that for them is a problem. And then let's see how the brand identity is reflected into content. This is the example about the above the fold. Before, the hero was the smart business management software for small and medium businesses. Now it's your smart business management platform, ERP. So it addresses directly the user. The sidekick is the old sidekick was Oldit is the solution in the cloud that has everything you need to manage your business anytime, anywhere. The new sidekick is intuitive, complete, budget-friendly. The only online solution you'll ever need to run your small or medium business simply and effectively. Invoicing, accounting, banking, you name it. Here we can see the use of the rule of three. And also these are the selling points or the core values for the product. That is intuitive, simple, complete, because there are like from the benchmarking emerged that there are solutions that are very complex and modular. So there are big parts of platforms that integrates together. Here we have everything, all the features in one platform, and then it's budget friendly. And then about the CTA, starts for free. And I added the CTA, why you hold the ERP, and try the demo. How the brand identity is reflected into design. I wanted something professional, but also friendly and a bit fresh and playful, no? So I kept Roboto, that's the font currently used by the brand, because I think it's serious, but there is also a little spark. That also in the description, it's geometric, so serious, but also friendly with the curve that has it. It's a Google font, so it's visible on all on all devices, and is sans serif, so it's really readable. Regarding the colors, I chose a blue navy for the primary color. This is already a color that's used by the brand, but in another shade. And I think it's really like give this sense of trust and professionality. But then for the complement, I chose complementary colors that give a bit of this idea of friendly and playful. And I chose also illustration and not photograph for inclusivity, and also for this to give this playful touch. Now let's have a look at the prototype. Okay, no, this is not how I intended to look it like, but okay. No, sorry, let me share. I will share a Figma directly, sorry. Okay. So this is the part of the web, the home page that I was able to prepare. Here you see the above the folder, and then I added a bit of storytelling. No, there was chaos, daunting document files. Then the relief, I discovered all it. as a holded user, I can now, and here I like enumerate all the features, and so that I can focus on achieving my business goal. Let me go back to the presentation quickly, really quickly. Sorry. And so our success will be measured. The KPIs are the classic ones: on-page visits, CTA clicks, the trial subscriptions, because there is a demo and it's really good. The upgrades, so when the users get a paid plan, app downloads, and number of 5-star reviews. And then let's move to the takeaways and next step. About the learnings, it was an incredible exercise to know more about the company. I had the possibility to, the fact of doing a benchmarking and conversation mining. I could learn like really a lot. I discovered the whole new world about content design and UX writing. And well, I think that it's important to take into account user feelings, and all the project is about this feeling or relief that users can experience finding a solution for the problem. And then the next steps, I want to work more on the user research with survey testing, the interaction example, and well, I will be applying the learnings every day. And many thanks for following me through this presentation.
Bravo, Sabrina. I can be your user testing. I use Holder here in allWomen, and I hate it, I would say. I hate that they every time check the interface. Oh, I don't know. I don't like it. Actually, yesterday I was talking with Laura because we use that with all the stuff, and we were like, what the fuck with Holder, you know? It changed the interface every 2 weeks, and I cannot like clock in and clock out. Like we have to make it for administrative.
Yeah, that part
no.
is like under development.
Yeah, but thank you for making a solution and make it more easier for the user. You know, I can be, if you want, we can be your user, help you with the user research and interviews, whatever you want.
Thanks, that would be great.
So send me an email or Slack and I will be there for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Any question or feedback, Jen?
Your presentation made me so happy. I saw all of the things that we talked about, the rule of threes, the active voice, using the word you, using social proof, like it was all there. So, mwah! And I really hope they allow you to apply your changes because they're excellent.
Yes.
Thanks.
Good job.
Love
And
it.
I love your landing.
Thanks.
The basic line of
Yeah. Amazing. I love it.
That's
who
also
else?
thanks to Nicole.
Maybe, I don't know, who else? Marie?
Oh, thank you so much, Sabrina. Absolutely fantastic how you how you work through these 10 weeks. Then that has been able for you to deepen your your experience of the company as well that you're working for. So great job. Thank you.
Thanks, Marie.
Thank you, Sabrina. So last but not least, we're going to go with Martina.
Hi, sorry. I wanted also to say sorry because I was going down the taxi. So I was also willing to say that it was a great presentation because it has all the points and very well ordenated. And also your project is very digital wise. And I think you did it very, very well. Okay. So because I'm working on everything in digital and I think it was so clear and so well explained. And also I agree with Daniela because when I had the one-to-one with you, I also said, but this is interface and this should be that. So I think that the concept and everything was really clear. So congratulations also on my side.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And thanks for your help with the SEO.
No, it's okay. It's my job.
Thank you, Miriam.
Sorry, Daniela, because I didn't want to stay like this in the taxi.
No,
But
no
now
worries.
I'm just getting home. 100 steps.
No worries. Take your time. So, yep, we're going with our last student for today, Martina.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I can see you.
You can see me? Okay. I can't see that you can see me. Okay, that's good.
But you're kind of freeze, I believe. I don't know if
yeah, I see. Okay.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Something's not working. Okay.
No worries.
It's like you froze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me quickly reload. Is that possible when it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of all this presentation of today. It's amazing to see all this work, ladies. So I'm missing Brita. I'm just making sure she's not here on the call. Nope. So I will reach out her. My computer has a bad UX because the camera is on the keyboard, you know, and my face, it looks just from the bottom. I hate it. Just sharing this fact with you right now.
You look very nice. It happens the same with me when I'm with the computer. It's the same view that you see just from above. But
Yeah.
it's okay. So Sabrina, will you present to the company?
No, maybe I will let my manager look at it just because I'm not in the team that's working, for example, on the home page. So I cannot just go there and show the project.
So have all of you that are in Barcelona, have you met up?
We need to.
Well, we met like, well, me and Jolene and Megan, and with Marta in the campus once. But Sabrina, you finally never came to join us.
I know we need
I really want to see you, girls.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely. Maybe when Megan it's all back.
Yes.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we can all meet, yeah.
Are you joining this Saturday? Next Saturday, is it? Yes, next Saturday we have the winter lunch. So I hope to see you all.
But not this Saturday, the next one, like on
The next one. Let me check the calendar. 11, Saturday, December 11, from 1 p.m. to 4:30.
Okay.
How we can sign up for the...
If you are a student, you are already in, but I will check with Dani Savali in order to send you all the information. I believe she sent already an email, but you are more than welcome. Yeah,
Okay,
you are more than welcome. Instructors, students, just to celebrate Christmas beforehand.
Elisa and me, we are it also, and we are so happy about that. Presential event, I love it.
Yeah, we did one last Friday. We were on our campus. There were a DJ, some drinks. We have now Estrella Damm collaborating with us, so you have free beers, wine, and we also are. We have a partnership with vegan cheese, and they did a catering for us. So I hope you can come. Martina is requesting, but I can see her here. Martina, I can see Martina requesting. Maybe I will share with her via Slack. 1 second. So Martina, give me 1 second. So yeah, I hope to see you next Saturday. Marie, you can see Martina requesting to join the call because I cannot see her. I don't know if you send a message via Slack.
Oh, no, I can see either here in the meet, but yeah. I just chatting with her on Slack, seeing how things are going. I told her you will send the link again to her. I don't know.
That's rare. I did just send her the link.
Oh, you did fantastic.
Yep. Any plans for Christmas, ladies?
Say hello.
Hi, baby.
Have you seen what he has in his hair? Poor boy.
Wow.
Before, yeah, in the kindergarten. But it's okay, yeah. It looks worse than it is. Mama. Di hola. No digas sí, hola, bellas. But we are waiting for the last presentation. Papá. Está ya el papá, cariño.
Hello. Unfortunately, I have to leave now, so I won't be able to see the last presentation. I wanted to say thank you, and it was very, very, very lovely experience to spend this 10 weeks with you. And I hope to see you next Saturday.
So you're coming there, Ida?
Sorry?
Are you coming on next Saturday, yes?
Yes,
Okay,
I will.
great.
Yeah,
okay.
so we can celebrate.
Great. Jen and I are coming as well, so we will see you in person.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, that will be awesome. I guess because there's no problem on my end.
Okay. Thank
Oh,
you
I
so
believe,
much, ladies.
ladies,
Bye.
I don't know what is
Thank you.
happening with Martina. She told me that it doesn't load properly on my end. So I don't know what we can do. Maybe let me give me 1 sec. I don't know. It's the first time that it happened.
I
So
really have to go though, but thank you so much, all of you, and we'll see each other soon, I guess. Then
yeah, sure,
Right.
absolutely.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, Jolene.
Bye.
Oh, here she is. Finally, here you are. No, you're mute. You're mute.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's the worst thing that can happen. It didn't load properly. I
No
don't know
worries.
why. I don't know. I hope now it stays stable. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, and you can hear me now, right?
Yes.
All right. I can't see you, so you have to tell me if you don't hear me anymore. So yeah, finally, I'm the last presentation, and it's at the right place. I guess you can all need some relaxing moments, and so I ask you to turn off your phone and take a deep breath of freedom. So I'm going to take you to Canada, to the wilderness, and yeah, let's see what I have today for you. So the project I was working on during the last 10 weeks was, or it's the project itself is about digital detox retreat and an art residency in the wilderness of Canada. That's what we're going to offer starting 2023, I guess. We want to provide a unique safe space for people who seek tranquility and simplicity to reconnect to nature and to create. What you see on the pictures is the house. It's the property we own since yesterday. Yeah. It's a long.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Martina. Yay. Do you want to just move forward in the slides, because we're still on the first page?
Yeah, I already did. You don't see it?
No.
Oh man. Okay.
Maybe because you have the presentation mode and you have
Sorry?
Maybe you use the presentation mode. Try to not put the presentation mode. Maybe it works. Sometimes happens. I don't know why.
Okay. Not so easy today. So you can see like this, it's better. Then I go ahead like this. So it's not so nice. I can try again, but I don't think it works. So I go on presentation and then you think it should work?
We see the same.
You see the same now, digital detox retreat?
Yeah.
Yes.
You see the next slide too?
No.
No, okay. It doesn't work through the screen. Okay, I go like this. You see now?
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, we go like this. So I don't want to wait longer. Doesn't look so nice, but it's okay. So yes, that's a long journey. Like we've been working on that for 5 years, and now the last 10 weeks was just the next step in all this journey, and like brings together what I've been doing the last 3 years. I was writing a lot, copywriting, content writing for different things, and I saw and realized it's a need. Or like I realized it would be cool to know more about UX writing and content strategy, as it was always a lack in all my projects. And so we go with this project. I've chosen this because it's real. We're gonna need it. We will need a website. We will need online content in order to attract visitors to our site. We provide two things. It's going to be digital detox and an art residency. Values we have, core values, we want to be authentic. So it's not so difficult to be authentic when you live that lifestyle. Usually there is no way around. You can't hide. We want to help our guests reconnect with nature and in the rhythm of nature. So slow down. And we want to work respectful. This means we respect nature's law. We treat animals, plants, human beings, soil, water, everything with respect and take care of it. And we work human-centered, because at the end of the day, if you live in wilderness areas, you just you have to take care of yourself. So we look at the customers as humans, and we want to make them a good experience out there and that they feel safe. There are competitors out there, different ones. They're just a little sample. One provider is Wilderness Cabins in Ontario. It's just like some little cabins somewhere in the wilderness, all at the same lake, all together. They are off-grid, so just this pretty simple lifestyle. And they call themselves sustainable, eco-friendly, carbon neutral. I think they try to do that. And actually, it's not so difficult to do it when you are off-grid. And except you need a lot of wood for making a fire. And then the other one is a retreat in Lapland. That was a bit my orientation point, because it's offering a similar product than we want to offer. It's actually selling the nothing on a very high standard. That's something I really like, because we live in this world of a lot of consummation, a lot of information. So it's all like a lot of things around us. So, and going to the nothing, it's really, I guess many people sometimes dream of it. Just turn off and make a stop. So they sell the nothing, and they have just like a little cabins too. And they only welcome little group of clients. So they just make it a bit more exclusive. There too, for me, the retreat in Lapland was my orientation. So how would that go? We have like 2 target groups. And when it came to UX, I learned that we call it persona here, and not like in the business plan, the target group. So the persona we want to invite would be the digital detox entrepreneur. That's Nicole. You see, she's 33. She could also be 40 years old or 42. So that's maybe the range. She lives in Zurich. She's pretty busy during the week, also on the weekend. She's well informed. She loves what she's doing, so she's a very engaged person then. And but in this engagement, she often lacks of taking a break. So she feels like taking some time off and for reflection, to calm down. And then that's what she's doing. She goes to Google and she researches for digital detox in Northern British Columbia. She finds our website. She fills out the contact form, gets in touch. We talk with her. At the end, she's really excited and think, yeah, I'm going to book the retreat. That's what she does. She spends 10 days on the site. Enjoying the sauna, enjoying the cabin, enjoying some fishing, enjoying some time on the water, enjoying maybe also some time at the campfire. Then she goes home revitalized. She shares the pictures with her friends. She talks about it. She gives positive review online, but of course also like voice to voice. And she recommends then our offer to friends, which themselves go and check the website, or also our Instagram account, where you can find a lot of nice pictures and stories. The other persona is Oliver. I called him nature-inspired artist. Can also be an artist, just looking for a nature experience. He's also 33 years old. He also could be 25 years old or 35 years old. He's a musician, so he has a family already, and he feels kind of like he doesn't find the space which he would need to produce new sound. So he's looking around for a place to go. So he goes to a art foundation in Switzerland. That's one of our partners. He goes on their website, and there he finds this offer of the digital detox, the art residence in the wilderness of Canada. And he clicks on our site. There he finds the information on both sides, on the partner website and our website. He finds the information how he got that stay financed. So he would love to come for 2 months. He also subscribes to our newsletter because you want to follow a little bit first and see what's going on our site. And he applies for the art residency with our partner. He comes to the site, he spends time there, he exchanges with the indigenous people on site. The stories or the products he develops during or whatever comes out from his creative work. Maybe there's nothing. Whatever he takes out, he will kind of publish it, and he will link it with our website and our social media accounts. And also tells, of course, his network about this great, unique opportunity. And he reports positively to our partner, who also might have a newsletter and talk about our offer. So the verbal guidelines, I try to follow, is the voice. So the voice should be simple. So like we want to communicate clear and as simple as our offer is. So not make a big bubble around it. We are optimistic and welcoming. So we want to be linked to sitting around the campfire or drinking a warm tea on a rainy day after spending some adventurous hours outdoors, or also when you think of enjoying the safety of a cabin after you had maybe a bear encounter. Like, it's positive, it's welcoming, we provide the safety you want to have if you're in the middle of nowhere. We are authentic, so this in the voice, this means we communicate honest and reliable, and it goes through from the website to when you're on the site, on our real site, on the property, and with every step we do. The tone goes from adventurous enthusiasm, so when you go to the website, you're also kind of excited, and it should trigger some excitement. And then when it comes to get in touch or going to contact, or even just try to do a booking, we are friendly and supportive. We calm down a little bit because we want to give the safety feeling and support the customer with every step he takes, so that he gets all the information he needs for the travel and so on. And I called it professional, informal. So we want to act as friend, but we're gonna do that on a professional level. Like, it's not gonna go like friend with everyone, if you can follow. The principle, so we always use active voice. We speak to the customers as you and as a friend, and we act inclusive, so everyone should understand what we offer. Everyone should have access to our offer. But once on place, we only take one, maximum 2 person at a time. So then it's the moment when we are exclusive. And like when the visitor leaves, he will get maybe a picture book as a memory, so that they're like have their own story on place, which they then tell in the social media. They tell their own story. Some the SEO guidelines, I'm not done with that yet to the end. But of course, one goal is that I get the website started and the social media presence, and I start communicating, and this should happen in 2022. And then the goal is to start the online traffic and increase it in 2023 and improve, to see, okay, like with having the website and everything started, and then of course analyze and rework everything and go from there. I did some word mining from reviews, and I also did surveys on both topics, and I tried to bring up some words which were mentioned more than once or several times, which people relate with wilderness, with digital detox, mainly with wilderness, like wildlife or comfy cabin, feeling home. This was mentioned several times with this Lapland retreat that people used in the reviews. So we want to have those reviews too, that people call it feeling at home in a comfy cabin, an open fire and recovery. It's a pure experience. I slept well. I would sleep all week. Words like that. And I think these gonna be words I will further research and further develop and use it also in the newsletter or in a blog posting. The keywords for the website were like mainly like digital phone. Oh, there is a mistake. Shouldn't be there. Screen detox, screen break, screen retreat in remote area, not from BC. So like based on the location, or then with an event, or even location and event. And the same for art residency. There is also art residency program specifically for Swiss artists, as I tried to cover the Swiss market, or like with indigenous artists and so on. The visuals. What you can see is those pictures, the landscape and the bus, and both, and the Into the Wild. You might all know this movie, Into the Wild, and there is quite some good illustration out there, and also the fonts they use. It's a pretty simple one, and I really loved it. So I think that's, I decided that's the one we want to use. So the font you see is the Open Sans condensed and Open Sans. That's what we're going to use on the website. The colors, it's a pretty broad range, but I defined the dark green for the font color, and the light green gonna be when it comes to digital detox, because the green is said that it's calming down, it's relaxing, it's good for your eyes, and still it's connected with nature. So that's why I'm going to use the light green. And the light orange will be the color I will use when it comes to the art residency, as it is a color of power, but it's also connected to, like you can see in the picture below, you have it like when the sun goes up or goes down, but also soil can be red, so it's also a grounding color. It's pretty powerful color. Now you can, I don't know how well you can see this now. It's a bit small. Can you read it?
Kind of.
Not really.
Really.
Not really. Okay, okay. I do it this way then. When I zoom, now it's better?
Yeah, much better.
Yes.
Okay, good. Oh, that works. Okay.
Yes.
So one thing that's what you see is a rough overview on how the landing page would be. Pretty simple. As I have a pretty down-to-earth project, I'd say it's you have the landing page, and there, like, the main important thing you see when you come on the page is that you can either choose digital detox or you can choose art residency. Now you see it on the phone, on the website. You would also find in the header the stories about the book. It's not a book, it's booking, sorry, and the contact. So it would be under digital detox, you would find the facts, like facts about the site, facts about being in wilderness, what it means, or like the offer, what will you find there? And then the next would be, are you ready for wilderness? So there would be like a little check to see, like if people are really ready to come to our place. Because if someone's like, let's say, have some mental issues, but really strong mental issues, it can be pretty tough, and it's not, it's then maybe not, we are not the place to go to. And then you go down and it's the booking again. So art residency, you will have some facts about the art residency. Then you will see portraits of other artists which were on the site already. It's going to be with pictures. And also there will be links to the partner foundations and then an application button. Depends a bit how we arrange the business with the foundations. Then a story section where you have like a picture book and stories, where we're going to have the posts and about the land and the people, how we going to be found. So we want to use Google Map. We will make a drawing. We don't want that people go on Google Map and they find us there. It should stay a little bit a secret spot, right? So we want to avoid that. We also want to avoid traffic from spontaneous trips to our site. And then you just have when it comes to the booking, so you can see the availability, the price, conditions, and at the end there is a contact form. For the phone, I don't have colors yet. I saw you had this really nice presented. That how it would look like or could look like when you go on the phone. And when you scroll down, you would see on the right, you would see a little movie or maybe from above the air, or you can see the land and like a turnaround, you can see all the land 360 and maybe a little story behind it. And then you go and you can just straight away check the availability. There will be a calendar next to it. This picture is a calendar. And then, and if you want to go and get in touch with us, want to get a sneak peek of the wilderness, talk to us. We are happy to answer your questions. And then you can also sign up for the newsletter, Stories from the Wilderness. So I have some content, I have some copy, but it's not like the final version yet. So, and now I zoom out. So yeah, that's what I've done so far in a really rough presentation. Next steps are going that I have to finish my SEO guidelines. So like better structure it and really define a bit more specific where to go. Then I will start with the website creation because we're going to need it soon, and also content creation. I will have set up the social media account. It's going to be Instagram and LinkedIn. because we talk to professionals, and that's why I decided we're going to use LinkedIn. And also, I will start to create a newsletter content agenda, so that I know when I will talk about what, and then I start testing and adapting all at the same, I guess. Yeah, that's about my work. Wilderness awaits you, and I thank you for your attention, and I hope you have some questions. And yeah, whenever you need you have the feeling you need a break, you feel free, you contact me. We might find a good arrangement. Thank you.
Bravo, Martina. I love it. I will for sure contact you pretty soon. Maybe not next year, but 2023, I will go for a detox. I really need it. I will be 20.
Yeah, I know.
34.
I know. We think in future, so we had to like I just like ignored all COVID going on, as we really want to target Swiss market. It's the market we know best, and we know people love Canada. So yeah.
Nice.
But
Any question or comments for Martina? No? Well.
Oh, well, thank you so much,
Mari.
Martina. It was really nice to follow these 10, the weeks that I've seen you, during these 10 weeks, and how you've been working with your project, and also, making it reality, That's the thing, starting as a dream and an idea, and how do you make it reality, and how you work with the content and kind of making it even more real, no? Becomes really real. What do you feel of it? And the subject, it's close to my heart as well, because I'm kind of, obviously, I'm sitting in the forest off-grid myself. And I had some friends over that are artists coming over, and I kind of could see the process through coming from an urban setting and being in the wilderness. I could see that process during the 2 weeks that I were here. So it's been so nice to see your project and how it's been evolving, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
For starting this in 2023. What do you feel has been your main takeaways your main insights during these 10 weeks?
That takeaway was I've never expected it's so technical and analytical. That's something I actually really like, because my background is I'm a scientist, so I'm really an analytical person. So that's something I really liked, but I also learned that it's very time intense, and I struggled a bit with just bringing everything together. I would have loved to just spend my days on working on that. So that's why I'm still not there where I would love to go. But it's always also part of the process that you don't have enough time, unfortunately. That's maybe the main takeaways, and now it's even proved me more that like UX and also the content strategy is really a way I want to go, because it's really it's not just about writing, right? So it's much more, and that really I took away. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was cool. I really enjoyed. Yeah, 10 weeks.
10 weeks, time flies. So if there is no more question or comment for Martina, I want to congratulate you all, ladies. Thank you for being here doing this presentation, showing all your projects after these intensive weeks. I'm super proud of your work. It really amazed me after all. I remember the first time that during the day zero, you were all scared, asking a lot of questions, and then you see, here you are. And I wish you all the best from your future career. Remember that you will have a workshop with Aurora Pulido, with all the job research. Then you will have the hiring fair in February. I will send you all the details about it. And it would be great if you can book a time with me for one-on-ones to see how was your experience during the bootcamp, and also to see your expectation from the hiring fair. If you have some companies there that you are looking for, start now, look for offers, and send us that company that we will contact them to see if they want to collaborate. And yeah, now it's time to celebrate you. Go and take a beer or a cup of wine. Be proud and enjoy your weekends now that you don't want to wake up so early. And I hope to see you all next Saturday, the ones who are here in Barcelona. And for those who are not here, we will send you a big hug and many good vibes. I will send you your certificate and instructor feedback later this week or next week. And yeah, see you soon. Hope to see you around and we can collaborate. Keep in touch. Let's keep in touch.
And also wanted to say thank you to all the teachers and all the girls that you've been really helpful throughout all this journey. And Martina as well, I wanted to comment that you've done a great job. And I love that you were always helping us. You were always with good feedback, and you've done amazing presentation. So definitely be prepared that if I'm in Canada, I'm gonna visit you there. And
Thank you.
thank you so much, everyone. That was really amazing experience.
Glad to hear that.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Sorry.
Safe our bill. Well, lady, have a good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.